Hi there, Internet Associate. It's Anthony, and I'm about to react to another episode of Dexter. So, this is season 3, episode 5, Turning Biminese. And I don't know what Biminese means, so I can't even begin to guess what this episode is about. But Dexter proposed to Rita at the end of last episode, so I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going with that. Let's see how quickly they progress things from here. There's a lot of other stuff going on, so yeah, I just kind of want to just get into it, just jump right in. I have no idea what to predict at this point with Dexter, so let's go ahead and get into it. Dexter, season 3, episode 5, Turning Biminese.
He was repulsed. It destroyed my brother, consumed Lila, but not Miguel Prado. Somehow he looks at me and he's proud.
Proud. All right. So far, everybody that has found out that Dexter is a serial killer has died, ultimately, by the end of the season. So, I wonder what that says for Miguel Prado. Now, I have been saying that I was looking forward to seeing if there was going to be somebody on the show that eventually finds out that Dexter does this and is kind of like his, what's called a confidant or whatever. Like where he like goes to them and they can like, they know what he is and they're okay with it. And maybe they even help him like find out about people sometimes. That is something that I've been wondering if that was going to come up on the show. And I was like, I can see room for that. I can see a space for that type of character to exist. So I'm wondering if Miguel Prado is going to be that character. It looks like he is that character for sure. But I wonder how long that's going to last, Like, I wonder if that's going to be like a staple type character now. Like, if he's going to continue to be around, or if by the end of this season, he's going to meet the same demise as all the other characters who have discovered Dexter's true secret and meet his demise. That'll be interesting to see. But he was kind of trying to play it right here as though he was just figuring out, like maybe he had an inkling because he gave Dexter kind of that bait, if you will, no pun intended, and then Dexter went out and took it. But I get the feeling that it wasn't just an inkling. I get the feeling that Miguel Prado has known exactly who Dexter is since he first started interacting with him. I don't know how, but that's kind of my prediction, that eventually Dexter's just going to find out that none of this has been an accident. And that it's not like Miguel, after hanging out with him all this time, started to notice some things and test a theory out. I think Miguel has known who Dexter is and what Dexter does since the first time they met. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out and if that's going to really turn out to be the case, because I've just always been suspicious of him since the first episode. It's always felt like he's known more than he was letting on. But him reacting this way in this episode is very interesting, because the other thing about Miguel Prado is that he's been playing this character of, he makes us all uneasy. We don't really know what he's thinking and how far he'll take a certain thing and how much he'll understand a certain thing. So it's like, even though he's been saying, I'm your brother, I'm your friend, I'm this and I'm that to Dexter, we as an audience can't help but still be wary of him and not truly believe that, because we're like, well, how much do you really know? You don't really know everything yet. At least we're not sure that you do. So you're trying to get so close to Dexter, but what happens if you really get close and find out some real secrets about Dexter? So that's why we're always still kind of wary about him, and we don't really want to completely accept him as really being Dexter's brother or friend. That's the same reason why Dexter didn't want to. But now he knows. The cat is out of the bag in that regard. He knows what Dexter is, and he knows what Dexter does. And he is perfectly fine with it. And he seems to think it's completely okay. That's at least what he's indicating right now, unless he has a long-term game plan where he's not actually supportive of this and is going to try to get Dexter in trouble for this. I don't know. But for now, at least, it seems like he's perfectly fine with it. So it's like, wow, this really feels like the first really genuine connection outside of Dexter's father of somebody that knows about this. That's happened so far in the show. Like I said, so far we've seen that even when it seems like they might be about to be okay with it, it still doesn't work out. In the case of Lila, she seemed like from the start she seemed like she would be okay with whoever Dexter was, and that indicated maybe she'd even be okay with that. And she turned out to be okay with that. But by that point, we saw that Lila was just crazy, and that we didn't want her to be okay with that because we didn't want anything to do with her. Basically, I always talk like we're in the shoes of Dexter. I don't know, because I feel like this show is just so perfect at putting us in his shoes. So yeah, I mean, now with Miguel Prado actually being this close, it definitely feels weird. It's like, we got trust issues. Like, wow, can we really actually just trust this dude? For some reason, I still don't feel like I can trust him, even though he seems to know everything and be totally fine with it. I don't know. Also, this episode we had Deb. She was going through, her little transformation of being a little bit nicer to to Wendell, played by the guy that plays Little C's. It was so cool to see. Every time I saw it, I just couldn't stop thinking about Little C's and Notorious. But anyway, that was interesting to see. But it was also interesting how Quinn responded to that. He was looking over there like, nah. Like the moment they put the camera on him and you could see his face, I was like, okay, yeah, Quinn's about to mess this up somehow. He's not happy with this. And then, yeah, he messed it up. He, whatever he did to the dude's mom, he might not have did anything to her, but he definitely let her go way too easily. Like, because we know how Quinn is. We know when he wants something, he can manipulate things and get his way. Then later he turns around and starts talking about, you're going to do this to the hardest working person I've ever had the pleasure to be a partner with and all that. No, now he's just trying to get back in Deb's good graces. Like, he's one of those kind of, people that is good at working people and good at, maneuvering and navigating certain rooms and spaces to get what he wants and to make people think a certain thing. He's one of those type of people. And so we still don't know what's going on with him, but I'm at least getting that type of idea. And, I was thinking actually last episode, I thought about it more when I went back and had kind of, sometimes I go back and look over them a little bit when I'm editing, and like he meant like there was the thing about the car or whatever. Like Deb mentioned his Quinn's car, and that's one of those things where in a TV show nothing's just mentioned arbitrarily. She was like, that's a nice car for somebody that makes whatever salary, and he was like, I got a good lease. That I feel like I didn't mention the last episode, but now I'm thinking about it, and I feel like that is that is something. So there's definitely something going on with Quinn here. And that was definitely a clue. But I don't know what it means just yet. But anyway, also we had Masuka. He had a nice moment at the end there, or, towards the end, at least the end of his storyline of the episode, where he talked to Ramon and was telling him cases aren't connected. They weren't strangled, they were smothered. What you gonna do about it? I'm right. I'm the best. I'm the best lead forensics investigator, whatever my title is. That's basically what Masuka was saying. And it was really cool, and everybody was backing him up. So I'm interested to see if that was meant to be like the end of that arc for him, or if there's still more going on. That might have just been the end of the arc for this episode, but he still has some more transformation to do. I'm not sure. But, I'm happy Masuka is trying to grow and change. I just hope that it's coming from a place of, that's what he wants to do and not just to be accepted by these people. Because I do think it's okay to change and grow. I think a lot of times people really do try to hold you where you are. And, they meet you in you act a certain way when they meet you, or you're in a certain position, or have a certain status in life when they meet you. And in their mind, they just try to keep you there. You know what I mean? And like, people really don't like to see, not that they don't like to see other people's growth, or they don't like to see other people grow. They just sometimes don't really accept it, or they don't. We all think of ourselves as like these dynamic human beings who are capable of so many different emotions and can change so much. Like, I'm sure we all think of ourselves as different from we were last year, 3 years ago, or even a month ago. But we think of other people in kind of this very static way, where we kind of think of them as, the initial perception that we've gotten of them. And even if we've known them for years, the perception that we have of them, they can't move beyond that. And when they do, it's like, why are you acting like this? Why aren't you being yourself? Why are you being fake? And we just automatically label it as fake. So that's what I feel like they were kind of doing to Masuka. And they were acting like it was a problem that he was acting different. I don't think it was a problem intrinsically. I think, inherently he can change if he wants to. It just needs to be for the right reason. So as long as it was for the right reason, I think that's cool. And Angel and the other lieutenant or whoever she was, that was interesting. That was just a quick little scene we got. Um, I don't know what much to think of that, I guess, right now. Not, that was basically all they showed us of that, so I really don't have anything to say about that. I mean, it's looking like it's going to be another storyline for Angel. I hope that it's headed somewhere, good and interesting. So far there's just not really much to say about it yet, I don't think. Yeah, I think that about covers. Oh yeah, of course, Rita and the baby. We had the whole situation with the almost miscarriage with Rita and everything. I felt bad for Rita this episode because I just felt like Dexter was being kind of childish, no pun intended again. But he was like, no, I don't want to talk about that. Like, I mean, I understand, Dexter, he's been kind of growing and learning to how to use his emotions and how to express his emotions. I sound like he's like 5 years old, but yes, I understand. I mean, so he kind of expressed them in the wrong way that time, but I definitely felt bad for Rita. I was like, dang, she didn't deserve that, man. He was just being a jerk to her. I mean, her and that still lady shouldn't have put him on the spot in that moment. But even then, if I was Dexter, I might have just tried to say something not completely committal, but not completely non-committal either, and then just talk with Rita about it later. Like, I felt like Dexter could have handled some of these situations better. But, he's Dexter. So, I guess you're going to get what you're going to get with Dexter. But, yeah, that was really kind of scary when she was bleeding and the baby looked like it could have had a problem and Dexter wasn't around because he was too busy going off killing somebody. That just put it plainly right there. Dexter, you really have to get your priorities straight. And it's not even like, it's not even like you could have been with Rita at that moment when that happened. She had asked you to do something, to be with her for something that involves y'all's future. Now, I don't blame him for not wanting to go on that necessarily, but I mean, at the same time, picking going to murder somebody over that, like, it really shows you where Dexter's priorities are and what he really thinks is the, most important thing in his life. So, Dexter does have to try to get past that. And at least if he's going to do that, it has to be the mistress and it has to be the second most important thing, as Harry said. Since he was like, is it going to be your wife or mistress? And it's going to be the most or second most or whatever he said. Anyway, so yeah. I'm glad that everything's okay with that, though. And I'm looking forward to seeing when they're going to get married, since apparently it's going to be pretty soon. All right. I guess that covers everything for this episode. I'm scrubbing through. There's Anton and Deb. Deb went to Anton's door, and there was another lady there, and she was jealous. So we can already see where that's headed with Deb. She's got another little jealousy thing going on here. So, I mean, not another jealousy thing, but another love interest going on here. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said earlier, I just don't want to see Deb keep on getting in this cycle of, oh, I like this person, but it's not right for me. I like this person, but it's not right for me. I feel like Deb's character, deserves more than that. You know what I mean? Like, so I hope that they're just not gonna. I hope this doesn't go too similar of a route to previously, and that I don't know. It just feels like every season they're having Deb fall for someone else, and kind of that becomes what a big kind of part of her story is, that she likes this person, and maybe it goes badly for her or something. I don't know, but Anton's cool though, so I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. And I believe now that that's it. As I scrub through, trying to make sure that I got everything. So yeah. Alrighty then. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the events that transpired in this episode. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more. Since you're watching on Patreon, you're probably already subscribed. But if you're watching this on YouTube and this is only a review, you can head over to Patreon and see the full uncut reaction if you're interested in seeing it. So yeah, that's going to be it. I'll see you all later.